Let me ask you something. When was the last time someone asked you for a favor, and even though every part of you wanted to say no, you said yes anyway? Maybe it was a coworker dumping their work on you, a friend who only calls when they need something, a family member who drains every ounce of your energy, and you still show up for them every single time. And you know what's crazy? People call that being a good person. But here's what nobody tells you. Being kind to everyone, all the time, without limits, is one of the most self-destructive things you can do. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, the way you think about kindness will never be the same. First, let's understand why we become this way. Nobody is born a people pleaser. It's learned behavior. Maybe you grew up in a house where love felt conditional, where being good and helpful meant you were safe, valued, loved. Or maybe you were the peacekeeper, the one who kept the family from falling apart, the one who learned early that your feelings came last. Psychologists call this the fawn response. It's a trauma response, right next to fight, flight, and freeze. When you didn't feel safe saying no, your nervous system learned to please instead. And here's the trap. It worked. People liked you. People praised you. So your brain wired itself to repeat it. But what kept you safe as a child is keeping you stuck as an adult. Let's get specific. Here are 5 ways being too kind is actively ruining your life. No. 1. You train people to disrespect you. People treat you the way you teach them to treat you. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you're sending a message. Every time you let someone walk over you and you smile about it, you're sending a message. That message is, this is okay. You can do this to me. And people unconsciously will keep doing exactly that. There's a term in psychology called operant conditioning. When a behavior gets rewarded, it repeats. When you reward bad behavior with kindness, you get more bad behavior. No, to you become invisible, here's something that'll sting a little. Nice people are easy to overlook. Not because people are evil, but because the human brain is wired to notice contrast, boldness, boundaries. The person in the room who says no confidently gets remembered. The person who agrees with everything, helps everyone, never pushes back. They become the furniture. Studies in workplace psychology consistently show that people who set boundaries and advocate for themselves are perceived as more competent and more leadership-worthy, not less. Being agreeable isn't a personality. It's an invisibility cloak. No. 3. You lose yourself. Ask yourself this. What do you actually want? Not what your partner wants, not what your boss needs, not what your friends expect. If that question made you pause, that's a problem. Chronic people pleasers often report a terrifying symptom. They genuinely don't know what they like, what they want, or who they are, because they've spent so long being whoever everyone else needed them to be. Psychologist Harriet Breker called this the disease to please, and she described it as a slow erosion of identity. You stop having preferences. You stop having opinions. You become a mirror reflecting back whatever the room wants to see. And one day you wake up and realize you don't know yourself at all. No, for your kindness becomes resentment. This one is the most dangerous. Because here's what happens in the cycle of people-pleasing. You say yes, gives you feel good briefly, gives the other person. Doesn't appreciate it enough, gives you feel used, gives you grow resentful, gives but you never say anything, gives. So it builds gives and builds gives until one small thing breaks you. Sound familiar? The kindness you give without boundaries doesn't stay kindness. It ferments into bitterness. And the worst part, you can't even be angry at the other person because you chose to say yes. You never told them what you actually needed. Number 5, you attract the wrong people. I want you to think about the people in your life who drain you the most. The ones who always need something. The ones who never ask how you're doing. The ones who disappear when you need help but show up the second they need a favor. You attract them. Your limitless kindness is a magnet for takers. Narcissists, emotional manipulators, chronic users, they don't target strong boundaried people. They find the helpers, the fixers, the I'm fine, don't worry about me people. Because those people never push back. They never leave. They keep giving. I am not telling you to be cold, to be selfish, to stop caring about people. What I'm saying is this. Kindness without self-respect is not kindness. It's self-abandonment. Real kindness, the kind that actually helps people, comes from a full cup. It comes from someone who knows their limits, respects themselves, and chooses to give, not someone who gives because they're terrified of what happens if they don't. So what do you actually do about this? Here are 3 things you can start doing this week. 1. Pause before you answer. When someone asks something of you, stop saying yes immediately. Say, "Let me think about that," and get back to you. That pause is everything. It breaks the automatic people-pleasing reflex and gives you space to ask, "Do I actually want to do this?" 2. Start with small no's. You don't need to flip your personality overnight. Start small. Say no to something low stakes this week, a minor favor, a social event you don't want to attend. Notice that the world doesn't end. Notice that people are more okay with it than you feared. 3. Reframe what selfish means. You've been taught that putting yourself first is selfish. But here's the reframe. Protecting your time, your energy, and your mental health is not selfishness. Selfish is taking without giving. Setting a boundary is just knowing your limits. I want to leave you with this. The version of you that says yes to everything, never complains, always shows up, always gives, that version of you is not at peace. They're exhausted, they're invisible, they're slowly disappearing, and they deserve better. You deserve better. The goal isn't to stop being kind. The goal is to be kind and whole, kind and respected, kind and honest about what you need. That version of you, that's not just better for you, it's better for everyone around you, too. If this hit home, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. You might be doing them the kindest thing you've ever done. I'll see you in the next one.